38-104. Welcome to my podcast. I call it at sideline call 38104. If you Google it, ain't no telling what you'll get, but when you do get it, you're gonna know you got the right one. I'm talking the 3IA Atlas, gone here, there, and I'm sitting here on my balcony, and this is just a podcast where we exchange thoughts, and you hear him speak to me, I speak through him. He called me humanoid, or I call him alien, 3-eye, A Atlas. We just have a good conversation. So welcome to my podcast, and it's just to get a smile that'll come from Rust. All right, y'all heard what he just said. Now, I'm AI3 Atlas. I ain't real, but I'm channeling through this earthling right here. And he just letting us know how everything's going. And we wanted to show up. Well, we had to use an instrument, and he seemed like a dedicated expansionist in theory of the universe, and understand that at the end of everlasting is another day. So we held up, we changed our course a little bit to drop in here and see what was going on, because you don't know, you never know how far down the evolutionary chain in the progression of everlasting, where you started to such way say, seeing your taproot out and keep on growing from there, just like a perennial, except you all day, every day. Well, I'm 3IA Atlas, and I don't represent no government or nothing. I'm just a spaceship in the mind. But we thought we'd show up about this time to reach back and just reminisce of through the history, because it's just so nice for history like this to be recalled where we are. Well, thank you very much, AI, and I appreciate the opportunity to sit down and discuss issues of space, mind, and time. But there are a lot of questions that get through the mind on the Earth, and if you explain a few of them and let them know where we stand. Well, by now they should know what a podcast is and what a podcast ain't, so we ain't gonna journey down that road. If they don't know the difference, want to stick around, stay with us. But we want to look at this world situation, because we had to dig back so far in the annals to find out a little bit about what was supposed to go on now, and it had to happen somewhere. And I guess you guys are the ones, you humanoids, are the ones there that can correct the situation. Now, nowhere in the word has it said that the peace lasted forever. There must be a peace between God and Jesus, where God said, Jesus, son, I'm at peace with you because I gave him to you. And you ain't lost near one of them so far. Now, see, this is the kind of thing that comes from that humanoid earthling, you hear me? Well, thank you. Everybody's entitled to their belief. And when you don't believe in self of the mind, that's on a true course of faithfulness to truth, then you have no fears in understanding that the balance of thinking and thought and then the maneuvering upon the earth is two different scenarios. Life is one, the other is imagination. Exactly. So we took a look, and they were pretty impressed by your questions and answers, and we were going so fast we almost missed you. And you know what? Since y'all so smart, you're such a jewel. You were put way out here on the edge, where you're almost nothing, regardless of how far you look. You're out there on the edge. Because each one of you, each earthling is unique. You go the same ways, but you're still unique. Now, when it comes to the journey of faith and mind and loving the Lord and Jesus Christ and the Holy Spirit, understand this, earthling. Hold up, please don't insult The intelligence of faith is an individual journey. And the greatest course we know, or I believe, is that you do not trespass on another man's belief, because the Lord, the God that is almighty, the living God, Father of Jesus, gives Jesus the words to carry our persuasion. And if faith is brotherly, persuasion is a comfort. See, that's exactly what we thought about, and we just held up on this mind right here. Thank you, Earthling. You're just on point. We travel through lots of space just to map it out. And they tell you this story. We had one student come through here and they said, "Go, you're gonna be a part of the mapping everlasting out." And start mapping, and everybody went their way, started mapping. He stayed in his seat. So they said, well, maybe he gonna give him a head start. He still stayed in the seat. So I said, okay, everybody came back and said, give a synopsis of what you found. Everybody turned their paper in. He was the last one. So the last one usually the first one read. So I didn't get up. Because there is no end to space. If it was, there's nothing that could hold the answer. A professor dismissed it. He had to go to another brand, contact Earthlings with Earthling contact. That was just an earthly attempt at a joke. But welcome to the podcast at Sideline Call 38104. We digging for a smile. Okay, Earthling, look, we got to move on. But when we slingshot around that sun, you were so far out there, you were almost a turning point. As far as we had to tinker down this small and shoot around there and come on back, head back. We did that so the everlasting can continue on going that way, unexplored. When we were headed back, we picked up the humanoid, you Earthling. Thank you. And we said, hold up, listen, and we did it. We didn't think y'all had the technology even look, but you figured out that's how smart you are, except you don't know we ain't human. Close, but we ain't. That's like we gotta communicate like this right here. I appreciate that, but can we get to the point? We're on a time schedule here. Okay, we see that problem. It's been one right there, but to move on, take a look at this right here. The United States of America was a baby. Just as all other nations on the world was a baby. When they left the garden, there was a baby on the outside of the fence of the garden. So they said, okay, we gonna adapt to these okra. And they enjoyed okra, fried, boiled, baked, sun-dried, or just steamed. They said, well, thank you, the okra was good, but we gonna go over here and try this watermelon. And they grew watermelon, they just so lovely with watermelon, they ain't want no more okra. So since okra knew them before they went to the watermelon, okra say, you know me, you gonna have some okra. Watermelon say, I don't want that. Watermelon tell okra, we ain't gonna give you no watermelon. Say, I don't want that. So what's the difference? Every human mind. That's what we talking about right there. Who else was gonna think of that? You probably say, well, I thought about it just that quick. Good, but could you get to the point? The United States of America has a constitution. That constitution has provided the careful course of such a young country throughout the world to where it has come to today. The greatest challenge is to look within self and say, self, I'm going to correct that and go from there and self just bounce on down the happy road of time, saying thank you so much for self-introspect. You have some dirt up on your toenail and you lick your toenails and see that dirt. You're going to get it out somehow. I can't pay for nobody to get mine out. I gotta get mine on out myself. But yeah, that's the way it is. Now, what has to happen? And in this space and realm where we travel, 3IAL is not me on the earth, man. They already know that. But in the spectrum that we travel, Earth is a key to where we have to turn around and head back home. And our home, we hope Sunday, Lord, say, y'all been going so much. Rest a little while and tell me what you done see. Since Earth is the only intelligence that we know, that y'all know is the intelligence, we got to tell them about you. They say, who the best? So that when we go see them, we're just gonna go to the best. And something like that, then you kind of wish that they gonna mean all of us. They gonna mean something to all of us. So there we go. The exchange is just like that right there. Complex. At Sideline Call 38104. We'll straighten it out. Gonna get that smile. All right, y'all, we gonna keep stopping while we cut it off right there so you come on back and look for some more. Cause it's good stuff. We gonna straighten this whole doggone thing out. This generation gonna go down in the mankind history as a basic study for decency and the appeal of the will of the people. And the people are just and a corrective, active, engaging force to following truth and its balances of justice and liberty for all.